So, Station 3, this is the bigger item of today. We're looking at decommissioning the station effective the 29th of August. This was recommended as a closure by third party in the 2017 and the 2024 POMAX reports. This station is the one that's located at 4343 Water Street down in Loggieville. It amalgamated in 1995. At that time it was called Station 5, and it was renamed to Station 3 when Douglastown closed. I believe it was in 2014. That station currently has 3 dedicated volunteers, paid on call, and 1 tanker, and we call that one Tanker 3. So, Station 3, the physical building itself, it requires some maintenance. There's some foundation work that needs to be done, some grouting on the block work, as you can see in the picture to the right. You can see some big cracks in there, and it will also require some new doors. They're shifted out of plumb, so they don't close properly and they don't seal properly. And if we were going to keep it, the required upgrades will be communication systems, exhaust extraction system, there is none in there, and being a health and safety for cancer prevention for the diesel fuel exhaust. And hidden behind the picture is an addition, and that's just because of the space. If you look at the picture on the left and at the bottom there, you can see that it's kind of tight quarters. There's about an inch and a half behind Tanker 3 to the rear wall, and there's only about 6 inches to 8 inches on each side of the truck, on that side of the truck to get by. So it doesn't leave a lot of room in there, and there's not enough room to put another apparatus in there. Okay, this is kind of one of the big concerns for insurance rates, what's it's going to do to the residents down in that community. They should see no effect on their insurance rates. Most insurance, so 90% of the Canadian insurers, they use the Canadian Fire Underwriters for their grading, in which they base their rates on. And what they use is there's 2 categories. There's the dwelling protection grade, and then there's the public fire protection classification. So the first one, dwelling protection grade, it's from 1 to 5, 1 being the highest, 5 being the lowest, and that's for 1 and 2 family dwellings. The public fire protection classification is rated from 1 to 10, again 1 being the highest, 10 being the lowest, and that is for your apartment buildings and your commercial structures. The biggest one that's going to affect the community down there is the dwelling protection grade, and listed there is the table for grade 1 through 4. Grade 5 is not listed because it's considered unprotected, and it just lists out what is required for each one. When it says, for example, on the biggest part of it is going to be the firefighters. When it says 15 auxiliary, that is 15 auxiliary that's able to respond. So it's not 15 auxiliary in the hall, it is 15 people that we know are going to respond to the hall. To move to the next one, so from grade 5 to grade 3B, if they were going to go that route, basically we would need the 15 auxiliary members that can respond, but we would also need water supply people outside of that. This is a fire underwriters map, and this was taken on the 15th of April 2025. The color codes are there, but you can see the blow up of the Loggieville area. Some of it is what they classify as 3 Bravo on the dwelling protection grade, and then the rest of it goes right into a grade 5, so it's unprotected. That grade 3 Bravo is based off of Station 2 as being the primary response. So here's a snapshot of all the calls that happened within 5 kilometers of Station 3 from 2020 to 2024. 5 kilometers is kind of a key area, and that is what we would normally have as a primary response for a station. So for Station 2, for example, 5 kilometers around it, Station 2 would be the primary responding trucks. For Station 1, 5 kilometers around it would be the primary station for responding there. This would be the expectation that Station 3 would be the primary response on those calls. And as you can see, over 5 years, we had 49 calls, which they should have been the primary response unit. This is their actual responses. So from 2020 to 2024, within that 5-kilometer radius, they responded to 6 calls. Now, this is not saying that they didn't respond to calls outside of it. This is just what they responded to within what we would classify as their primary response area. Okay, Station 3. Station 3 facilities are not adequate for modern-day fire service. We would not be able to put an engine in there. The hall is too small. It does not have the resources for an appropriate response to an incident as a sole entity or as a first due apparatus. We would still be relying on Station 2 and Station 1 to pick up those avenues. Primary response for that area over the past 5 years has been Station 2, with backup coming from Station 1. And the primary area of Station 3 has the lowest dwelling protection grade, which is a rating 5 of unprotected. While understanding the prestige and pride of the fire station brings within a community, the factual and statistical data shows it is an inefficient use of resources and supports the decommissioning of Station 3. These facts and statistics were also shown through a third-party review in 2017 and 2014. It was recommended 8 years ago that the City of Miramichi decommission Station 3. This is the first step of many to modernize and prepare the Miramichi Fire Department for the future, which includes health and safety, which also includes cancer prevention, risk mitigation, modern firefighting tactics, training, efficiency, record keeping and analysis, incident command, leadership, and professional standards. That is my presentation. Thank you.